What started out as a Me Too sexual assault complaint at one Metro Sheriff's Office has now turned into a full-blown sex scandal, and not the way anyone might have predicted. 3 longtime employees of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office have lost their jobs, and Fox 5 IT reporter Randy Travis says that includes the woman who filed the complaint in the first place.
That's right, Marissa and Rush. Yeah, when Tonya Power made her explosive allegations in February against Captain Bruce Ferguson, the veteran cop quickly resigned in lieu of termination. What happened next is both embarrassing for everyone involved and, we should warn you, may not be suitable for some viewers to hear.
I have to know that I'm not going to be hurt by this anymore. And I don't have to fear getting caught in an elevator with him or seeing him in a hallway or...
Tears and fears. That's how Tonya Power explained it to Douglas County Sheriff Internal Affairs investigators in February. Captain Bruce Ferguson, a 31-year veteran of the office and head of investigations, had walked into her office, unzipped his pants, and sexually assaulted her.
In that moment, you feel disgusted and then you feel degraded, and I was scared, and so I was like, just hurry and go away.
The sheriff's purchasing and inventory manager complained it was the latest example of blatant sexual assault in her private office, just down the hall from where Ferguson's wife also worked.
He asked to touch my breast every time he came in my office. He grabbed my butt. And I told him to stop, and he wanted to put his hand down my pants. I felt alone. I felt like the movies, you're like, do I scream? Is anybody next door? I felt paralyzed.
Disturbing allegations indeed. Tonya Power's attorney notified the DA's office. They called in the GBI. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office continued its internal affairs investigation and even hired an outside consultant. All 3 investigations would take this story to a place none of the players likely ever wanted it to go.
First came this shocker. Bruce Ferguson admitted to at least a half-dozen sexual encounters with Power, but not the way she described them.
She was always willing. There was no doubt.
So you're saying that it's never been against her?
No,
will.
Nowhere close. You can't be in a room with her and she don't eventually talk about sex.
He told investigators the 2 engaged in consensual oral sex multiple times inside the sheriff's office. He said Power would text him photos of her breasts and vagina. Ferguson would go on to admit that on several occasions he masturbated alone in his county office, in his county-assigned vehicle, and watched porn on his county-supplied cell phone.
I apologize to you.
You don't have to apologize to me.
I do. I don't have to apologize to you, because I put you in this position.
Then Sergeant Craig Allen came forward with his own stunner. He and Tonya Power had texted each other lewd photos, including one that investigators determined Power took in a sheriff's office bathroom.
She's a flirt. I said, send me a picture. She's okay. I got the text. That's okay. All right, make sure she sent me a picture.
When confronted, Power tearfully claimed she felt forced to send those pictures to Allen, a friend of Sheriff Tim Pounds.
He told me that he would get me a county take-home car. He told me he was able to get me a raise, which I needed.
Allen denied that. So did the sheriff.
I don't know how she can come to that conclusion simply because, now, quite naturally, Sergeant Allen is a friend of mine. But I don't see how you could I pressure you into sending me some pictures?
Then the GBI found a 3rd employee, Lieutenant Rodney Houston. He told investigators from spring 2017 until October 2018, he and Tonya Power had an affair, including multiple sexual encounters inside her office. Houston secretly recorded the phone conversation where he let Power know that he had spoken to the GBI. That's part of the IA file, too.
What happened?
Well, initially I was trying not to say anything, but I didn't really want to go to jail.
Okay, what happened?
So I had to tell the truth.
Because he initially lied to the GBI, Houston was fired. So was Tonya Power. Investigators convinced she had lied to them when denying she had taken this picture in the sheriff's office bathroom. Along with Bruce Ferguson's hasty retirement, that makes 3 county law enforcement careers brought to a sudden end by a sex scandal literally happening inside the sheriff's office.
You got to admit it's embarrassing for your office.
Oh, Randy, quite naturally it's embarrassing for my office. That's something that no one shouldn't have to deal with.
The DA has closed the case. No one will be charged. Craig Allen only got a verbal reprimand because investigators determined the lewd photo swap with Tonya Power took place while he was off duty and on his personal phone. When the Fox 5i team contacted Power, she maintained she never had consensual sex with Captain Ferguson. She claims none of the 3 investigations treated her fairly. She declined to answer our questions about the photographs or her relationship with Lieutenant Houston. Post must now decide whether the 3 should have their certifications revoked, barring them from ever working in law enforcement again.
Do you want all 3 of those people to have their post certifications taken away?
Randy, to be honest with you, I don't. Folks do what they done every day, and it's really not a crime, just unethical that they do it here at this sheriff's office.
None of the men involved responded to our request for comment. Power has since filed an EEOC complaint accusing the sheriff's office of allowing sexual harassment, retaliation, and creating a hostile work environment. And that case is pending. We'll let you know what happens.
So she and 2 of them have lost their jobs, but Craig Allen, who received the pictures, has not been charged. Is that right?
Not been charged. No one's been charged. And he has not been punished in any other way except a verbal reprimand. The sheriff says he gave him a strong talking to. But there's some people in the department, in the sheriff's office, who are concerned about that because he did exchange pictures with her, but the sheriff insisted it was in his off time, and he didn't use a county phone, so there were no violations of policy there.
All right, very compelling report. Thanks, Randy.
Okay.